Alright guys, so let's talk about Uber and Lyft. As you guys know, we have a lot of time until EDC Las Vegas, so whether you're deciding to do a shuttle or Uber a Lyft or drive to EDC, there's tons of options, but I specifically want to talk about Uber and Lyft for this video. It's going to be super quick. I'm just going to talk about my experience with it, pricing, pros and cons of it versus doing the shuttles, just to give you guys a little bit more information because I've had a couple questions about what the experience with Ubering to the festival is like, so that is what this video is all about. Basically, in the past, I had done the EDC shuttles 3 years in a row, and then this past EDC, I did Ubers the entire weekend. I've also taken Lyft one of the Sundays that I went to EDC. As for next year, I'm personally going to be doing Uber again. My experience was pretty great with it. That's not to say that the shuttles aren't good. It sounds like they're really improved last year in 2018, and they're only going to probably get better in 2019, but you know, who's to really say? Pricing wise, from what I remember, one way was around like $50. Now, there can be surge pricing. It depends where you're getting the Uber from, like how close you are. That was coming from the Luxor all the way to the Speedway. So it was around that. We had 3 people, so we split it 3 ways, and then we sort of like rotated who was gonna pay for the Uber. So honestly, I would say all in all, for the whole weekend, we would spend around like $110 to $130. Again, depending on when you call the Uber, but it was around that price. And in the past, I think shuttles were like $105 or something for the whole weekend. So you may get a better deal price-wise because Uber and Lyft, there's so many factors that could change the price of it, but that's typically what we spent last year. As for like the pickup and drop off areas, so there are designated Uber and Lyft drop off areas. They're separate from each other. They're right next to each other, but it's separate from where the shuttles get dropped off. It's separate from where the parking is. And yeah, it was pretty easy to find. Like the Ubers pretty much knew where they were going. There were signs to the parking lots and they had like designated spots that they would park in. And then there was a security tent right there near the Uber and Lyft drop off. And then coming from the festival, again, there was a designated tent that you went to, and you would call your Uber from there, and it was really organized. Like they were all parked out in specific spots with like a letter and a number, so you knew exactly where to go. And then you would just show the security guard that you have an Uber, and they would let you through to go to your spot. You know, obviously with everything, there are pros and cons. So I'm just gonna really quickly talk about why I did an Uber, and then I'm gonna talk about some of the issues we have, and then I'm gonna have a story time at the end, because why not? There was one Uber in particular that is worthy of this video, and I'm gonna talk about it. So pros to Ubers, there's no security line and no waiting on a line. Obviously, you just go out of your hotel and you call the Uber and then it comes and gets you. So with a shuttle, depending on the shuttle stop you were at, again, last year was much better. Sometimes we would wait over an hour trying to even get onto a shuttle, which is crazy. So yeah, there's no line, it's really easy. Obviously, you're in a comfortable car, you have the air conditioning, you can plug your phone in if they let you. So you can sort of have like your own little party in the car and just get there comfortably, which is really nice. You know, the waiting traffic wasn't really bad. Like I would say it was like 45 minutes to an hour, but that's like really good for EDC time, like honestly. And sometimes it was quicker than that. I think one of our cars was 35 minutes going to the Speedway, again, coming from the Luxor. Really like didn't feel long at all. The Uber drivers were all super nice that we had, so the experience was good. So it was pretty fast. I thought that the whole experience with Uber was quick, and I think Lyft would be the exact same thing. You know, the shuttles, I went the 3 years, there were issues. There were issues, but I heard last year like there was no problem. The cons that I have experienced with Uber and Lyft, so canceling. It wasn't really last year, it was the year before. We would have cars come where they would call us and be like, are you going to EDC? And then they would cancel on us because they just didn't want to go to the festival. So there were some people that were unwilling to take us there, but that really only happened like 2 times. Everybody else was like, sure, and just, you know, they all know what they're getting into. They know how much traffic they're about to sit in. And then other Uber drivers were like super fun. Like the biggest con was the wait going home. So like, on the festival, Saturday and Sunday, we left like during peak hours, probably like 4:30 a.m., 5, like towards the very end of the festival. And when you got to the Uber 10, it took like 20 to 25 minutes to even get an Uber. Like it just kept loading and loading and loading. We were sitting there like, oh, we just want to go home already. Like, please, can we just go home? Or it would say like your Uber's 15 minutes away, and then the Uber would cancel on us, and we were like, oh, you gotta be effing kidding me. Like, what is happening? That was the only thing. Like, we did have to wait still in the Uber 10, but the Friday night, I think we left at like 3:30, much on the earlier end, and had no problem. Like it was one and done, it was quick. There can be price surging. We didn't really experience anything like drastic. Again, if you leave at the end of the festival, like you're gonna wait and there's probably gonna be a surge in price, but nothing like insanely high. And like the vibes of it, so when you do the shuttles, like you're on it with a huge bus of people play music, like you meet people, you can trade candy, it's like there's a vibe and like an energy that gets you like super pumped. You know, when you're in your car, like depending on your mood, like obviously we have fun with each other, but it's different. Like some of the cars like didn't let us plug our phone in, or like didn't even have music on, and we were sitting there like, okay, like this is the worst. So it like totally depends. Like if you have a good relationship with your Uber driver, then it's a better experience. But sometimes the vibes are just way better on the shuttles. If you're looking to meet more people, then obviously do that. So now the story time. So the one night, I think it was Saturday last year, so we get our Uber again. Like it was a wait to get it. We were exhausted. We just wanted to go the F home and sleep. So we like walk out to our spot, and it's this minivan, and the doors open in the back, and we like pull up, and the guy's like sitting in the back seat with a guitar and a little chihuahua, and we were just like, this is gonna be we just knew. We were like, this is gonna be quite the ride home. So we all get in the car, and this guy was just like unreal. Like he just was like he just could not stop talking, and the dog was like a therapy dog, so it was like jumping around all of our laps, which was the best thing ever. We were just all like, oh my God, like, cause you're so sad the night is over, like, so it's so fun to just have the dog sitting in our lap. He was adorable. He was like jumping up on the guy's shoulder, and this guy, like, he's a musician and an artist. We learned all about his life, and naturally he has a CD and music on SoundCloud, which why wouldn't he play us his music? So we're sitting there, it's 5 a.m., we're like 5:30 a.m., and we're dead tired, and this guy's like, oh yeah, I'll just play you a song, like it's not a big deal. He starts playing us his music, and the three of us are like, nice, yeah, real good. And we're like, what the fuck is happening? Like, oh my God. And he started getting into like EDM artists and how he like doesn't get DJing, and they're just like hitting buttons, and it's like not real musicians. And we were like, oh my God, dude, just drive the car. Like we can't do this right now. But we were hysterical. We're all texting each other. We're like, are you seriously listening to this dude's mixtape? Like he's like, follow me on SoundCloud, blah, blah, blah. Like he's just driving around, picking people up, just playing the music and stuff. But it was by far the most entertaining Uber ride I've ever had in my life. I knew it was gonna be a doozy, but you know, I'm also like this, like, yeah, like totally, like falling asleep in the back of this guy's car, trying to listen to his friggin' soundtrack. But that was fun, very memorable, I'll never forget it. Yeah, oh, I don't remember his SoundCloud name though, sorry guys, I can't share that with you. So you never know who you're gonna get when you take an Uber, so it's kind of worth the story sometime. Anyway, those are my pros and cons. That's sort of like the deal with Uber. I'm more than happy to answer more questions, like if you guys have. Again, like I'll try and look up my past Uber pricing and put them in the description box. Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth it. I really liked it. If you have the money to spend and your budget's kind of like okay, then I suggest it. Again, I think it's a little faster than the shuttles, but you know, who knows how they'll be next year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Please subscribe. Got a lot of EDC content coming out. Cool, so now I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.